NRL Fanatics here, back today with a video, and wow, what an afternoon yesterday we had of news. Now, look, how crazy is the Game of Rugby League? How crazy is it? Because we know right now, it is the time of the year where players that do not want to stay, or clubs that don't want to keep players, will let them go, or they want to re-sign them. But look, there's a lot of rumours around the Warriors at the moment in terms of player movement, in terms of, players' signings, in terms of all sorts of stuff. But look, I'm going to give my thoughts on it now. And look, I'm not going to go through the Dallin Watene-Zelezniak one too much, because at the end of the day, it turned out to be a false rumour, a false report by the Daily Telegraph. Say what you can say about that one with the Sydney Daily Telegraph, because, often they can get things very wrong, and often they can get things really right. But look, I'll go through it a little bit and give my thoughts on it. So, yesterday afternoon, we saw the likes of the Dallin Watene-Zelezniak signing. Now, the Daily Telegraph reported that it was officially confirmed he'd be signing with the club and leaving the Bulldogs immediately to take up a deal with the Warriors. And everyone was posting about it. All the Instagram pages were posting about it. The media was reportedly posting about it as well. Now, I posted it on the Instagram page, Warriors NRL Fanatics. If you haven't followed that page already, go check it out. Go give it a follow. And I do lots of things on that page. I post news, signing rumours, and all sorts of stuff. I post a lot of things on there. So go check that out. Go give it a follow. But anyways, getting back into it. Now, straight after all this reports around Dallin Watene-Zelezniak officially signing, I was expecting the club to come out and announce it straight afterwards. I was expecting the club to come out and announce it, but the club didn't announce anything. They didn't announce anything, and I started to wonder, is this going to happen or not? Because at the end of the day, you know what the media's like, and often they could be wrong. But after that, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak on his Instagram page, his official Instagram page, he put up a story saying, look, somebody has foregone my signature. I haven't signed anything yet. He put a laughing emoji in there, and he put a sticker saying, I'm going live on Twitch. Twitch is a social media live streaming app and website. And he went on to Twitch. I watched it. He said, look, guys, I haven't signed a contract yet. Yes, I'm in talks behind the scenes, but I haven't officially signed a contract yet. And that rumour and report on the Daily Telegraph was all fake news and all that. And he said that. And then afterwards, someone asked, is he going to stay with the Bulldogs next year? And he said, no, I'm not going to be at the Bulldogs next year. The club's got other plans in that, and, he's fine with it, and he wants to stay at the Bulldogs. But, look, at the end of the day, we all know what's going to happen. Yes, he's probably not signed the contract yet, which is what he said on his live Twitch stream, but we know he's going to sign with the Warriors. I can see it happening. He will sign with the Warriors. It's going to happen. It's probably going to happen in the next few days or next week. Who knows? But at the end of the day, look, at the end of the day, he hasn't officially signed a contract just yet. Just letting you guys know, he hasn't officially signed on the dotted line just yet. But we all know that he will sign with the Warriors, and it's going to happen. But when that happens, I will do a full video talking about it and give my thoughts on it. So just letting you guys know that I'm not going to be doing a video on signings until they officially confirmed by the club. And I know you guys will think, it's still news, you should put a video on about it, but I'm not going to do a video until the club officially confirms it. So, that's my view on it, but Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, it's probably going to happen soon. So, that's my views. Now, on to the second point, and look, Gareth Widdop. Now, Gareth Widdop has been rumoured to be officially going after by the Canberra Raiders, by the New Zealand Warriors. And look, the Warriors one, I was a bit surprised by, because, with Cody Nikorima. But I'm going to get into the Cody Nikorima straight after that. Straight after this one I'm talking about now. So, look, Gareth Widdop, in my opinion, is a very, very decent player. You know, I know he's not young. I know he's getting old. And I know people might say, nah, he's too old. You know, nah, he's not great. And I'm going to have to disagree. I reckon he's a decent player. Yes, his age is not there. But, look, age doesn't matter to me. I don't really care about age. Age does not mean anything to me. You know, he's an experienced player. He's played in England. He's played for the Dragons. He's played for the Melbourne Storm. Now, he's a very experienced player, and he's a player I reckon we need in the team. I reckon we should definitely go after him. Would I sign him on a long-term contract? 100% no, I would not. I would sign him for 1 to 2 years. Give him that experience, you know, give him experience to play alongside the Warriors with Chanel Harris-Tavita, because Harris-Tavita, in my opinion, needs an experienced player. Now, Cody Nikorima hasn't delivered this year, and Cody Nikorima, look, he's been with the Warriors for what, a couple of years now? I think it's a couple of years. Correct me if I'm wrong on how many years he's been at the club in the comment section, but yeah, Cody Nikorima, you know, I personally think, you know, he hasn't really delivered this year. But back to the Gareth Widdop discussion now, and Gareth Widdop to me is a great player, very, very experienced, and I reckon we should definitely go after him to play alongside Harris-Tavita in the halves next season. But do I think Gareth Widdop will sign with the Warriors? I don't think he will. I think the Canberra Raiders, you know, with their connection to English players, you know, Canberra Raiders have signed Josh Hodgson, they've signed George Williams. I reckon Gareth Widdop will probably go and sign for the Canberra Raiders. And one, considering Gareth Widdop's wife lives in Australia, so I don't see Gareth Widdop sign with the New Zealand Warriors, but I'd definitely love to see him sign with us, even if it's for 1 to 2 seasons. But yeah, I know maybe people disagree with me on that one, but you know, I reckon Gareth Widdop would be a decent player to have in the halves for experience-wise for Chanel Harris-Tavita. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is Cody Nikorima, and as you guys know, Cody Nikorima, he took up an option in his contract to play for us next season. Now, I read a tweet on Twitter by Wacko's Whispers, and this is regards to Cody Nikorima. He has an option in his contract for next year, and he took it up to stay with the Warriors. But, you know, Cody Nikorima, apparently, you know, he's got some personal things going on in his life, and he wants to stay in Australia next year, which I understand if that's the case. Now, Cody Nikorima, if the club wants to let him go, so be it. I can understand that, and I personally understand why he would want to stay in Australia next year. But, you know, in terms of why the Warriors are going after another half, that is probably the reason why, because of Cody Nikorima suddenly, you know, wanting to stay in Australia next year, which is totally understandable. But, like I said, I think Gareth Widdop would be a handy replacement to have for Cody Nikorima in the halves next year. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is Matt Lodge. Now, sorry for the long pause there. I was just trying to get my thoughts out there. But Matt Lodge is a player that the Warriors have tried to get in the past. Now, last year, we were also rumoured to be going after Matt Lodge. Now, my views on Matt Lodge. Now, I know people will probably say, yes, Matt Lodge, you know, would be a great player to have in the side in terms of maybe getting him on less money and, you know, helping out our forwards, because our forward pack, let's be honest, hasn't really been great this year. You know, we had the likes of Adam Fanua-Blake, but he's been out injured. We've had Ben Murdoch-Masila. He's been great, but no one's really stood out in the whole entire squad to be delivering in that forward pack role. So, look, Matt Lodge, last night was reported, or talked about on Fox League, that Matt Lodge is set to leave the Brisbane Broncos immediately. Now, he hasn't got a club, and Andrew Voss said he would not be surprised if Matt Lodge signed with the Warriors immediately. So, look, I personally am not a fan of Matt Lodge. I'm not a fan of him as a player. I'm not a fan of, you know, just what he did in the past. I know it's in the past, and people will probably say, you should move on and give him a chance and all that. But look, I don't want a player with that sort of background in this side, to be honest. But I can understand where they're going with this, the Warriors, where they're going. And, the club at the moment, they're not afraid to go after these sort of players that they think is going to suit the squad overall. And, you've seen the likes of the Reece Walsh, they try to go after Reece Walsh. He's only 18 years old and, he has great potential. And it turns out that he's been a pretty decent signing so far for the club. But Matt Lodge, look, at the end of the day, I have a strong view that I would not want to sign him. I don't believe he should sign with the Warriors. I don't want him in the squad. But if the club wants to sign him, so be it. So be it. I will have to live with it. There's quite a few players in the off-season that I wasn't a fan of signing, and they turned out to be great, and they've proven me wrong. So, Matt Lodge could come into the side and do some great things for the Warriors. You never know. But in my view, I don't want to see Matt Lodge sign with the Warriors. But, at the end of the day, I trust what the club's doing because, I listened to Peter O'Sullivan's interview on News Talk ZB. If you guys haven't seen it already, go check that out. But I listened to it a couple of days ago, and it was a great discussion. And, I trust what the club's doing in general. But, yeah, I mean, look, Matt Lodge, look, he could come in and do some great things. And I reckon let's be honest, I reckon he's done a great job for the Brisbane Broncos this year. And, Brisbane Broncos, Tavita Pangai Jr. is another one that is, going to be leaving the club at the end of this season or potentially mid-season because there's talks around Tavita Pangai Jr. And, his wanting to leave the club. But, like I said, Matt Lodge, I don't know. I just don't like this. I just don't like the chances of. I just don't like the chances. I don't really want to see him sign with the club. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the news and reports and rumours. Whatever. It's just crazy at the moment in terms of what's going on in the NRL. This season, let's be honest. Right now, assessing the Warriors, it's very inconsistent, and I can understand why the club's trying to go after all these players. And I think we'll see a lot of signings in the next couple of months. We'll see a lot of signings in the next couple of weeks. We could see that DWS sign confirmed in the next couple of days. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on these rumours, reports in the comment section below. One, what's your thoughts on potentially going after Gareth Widdop to sign in the halves for next season? Do you think that'd be a good idea? Also, regards to Matt Lodge, do you think Matt Lodge would be a good signing for the Warriors? And also, the Cody Nikarima situation, what's your thoughts on that? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're watching, make sure you're subscribing, hitting that red subscribe button down below. The channel is almost at 800. This channel is almost at 600 subscribers. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next